Brian Giles from Brian Giles MTG. And up now is the next video in the Ruinous Powers uh, cards from the Ruinous Powers deck in the Warhammer 40k spoilers. This is Bile Blight. 2 black mana for an instant that reads target creature and all other creatures with the same name as that creature get -3/-3 till end of turn. That's a good way to get rid of your weenie deck. Hoo-ha. Get rid of all those little annoying tokens. Next up, hoo-ha. Another exciting reprint that people are going to be clamoring for. People are going to want to, I'd say some people are going to want to buy this deck just for this reprint because we haven't seen this card in a while in Dark Ritual. 1 black mana for an instant reads add 3 black mana. This, back when I was first playing, this was, if you had a black deck, this was an automatic add in your black deck. You had 4 of these, and if you can get those to go off, you can do some serious bad drain life type shenanigans. This card is fun. Next up is Decree of Pain. I believe this also is another reprint. 2 black and 6 colors for a sorcery. It says destroy all creatures. They can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature destroyed this way. Cycling for 2 black and 3 colorless. When you cycle Decree of Pain, all creatures get -2/-2 till end of turn. So this card is just bad all the way around, no matter how you use it. Next up is Blasphemous Act, another reprint, but again, this is part of the mechanics of this particular faction. And Blasphemous Act is 1 red, 8 colorless for a sorcery that reads, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. So this is kind of like the answer to that the big Tyrannid thing, especially with with the Tyranids and make all those little 1/1 tokens. You got a whole bunch of little Tyrannid tokens out. You play Blasphemous Act, you wipe the whole board. And he doesn't have his big creature anymore. He doesn't have his little creatures anymore. He's not happy anymore. Next up is another reprint that we've seen recently in Chaos Warp. 1 red, 2 colorless for an instant that reads, the owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. So, yeah, that's... Next up, I think also is another reprint. And again, we're seeing a lot of sorceries in instant because this particular faction deals a lot with sorceries in instant. So, Past in Flames reads one red, 3 colorless for a sorcery that reads each sorcery instant card in your graveyard gains flashback till end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost, and it has flashback of 1 red, 4 colorless. So you can cast it from your graveyard for its flashback cost, then exile it. Next up is Reverberate. Again, I believe another reprint. 2 red mana, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy, kind of like the old-fashioned fork. Next up is Warstorm Surge. 1 red, 5 colors for an enchantment that reads, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, deals damage to its power to any target. That's not at all fun. Next up is Bituminous Blast. 1 black, 1 red, 3 colors for an instant with Cascade. Bituminous Blast deals 4 damage to target creature. That's just not fun. Any card with Cascade. And, that could be bad. Next up is Deny Reality. 1 blue, 1 black, 3 colorless for a sorcery with Cascade. Return target permanent to its owner's hand. More Cascade cards. I guess this would be kind of a theme with this deck as well. Next up is Heralds of Tzenditch. You got some funky names for these things. It's 1 blue, 4 colors for a 3/3 demon with flying. It's a blue demon with Cascade. Next up is Pink Horror. I'm sorry. It's Pink Demons. 1 blue, 1 red, 3 colors for a 4/4 demon horror with coruscating flames. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Pink Horror deals 2 damage to any target. Split. When Pink Horror dies, create 2 blue and red demon horror creature tokens named Blue Horror. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to any target. Yeah, that's just nasty. Next up is Lord of Change. 1 blue, 6 colors for a 6/6 demon with flying at Ward 3. Another blue demon. Has Architect of Deception. When Lord of Change enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. So this thing hits the battlefield, it's gonna be hard to get rid of, and you get some nice card draw with it. So he's worth the beefy cost. Next up is Blight Grenade. 1 black, 4 colors, destroy target creatures. All creatures get -3/-3 till end of turn. So a specific creature destruction with some low-key board wipe. Not bad at all. Next up is Great Unclean One. 1 black, 4 colors for a 4/5 demon with reverberating summons. At the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, create a 1/3 demon creature token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. Next up is Mandate of Abaddon. 1 black, 3 colors for a sorcery that reads, choose target creature you control. Destroy all creatures with power less than that creature's power. That could be interesting. Next up is Mortorian Daemon Primarch. 1 black, 5 colors for a 5/6 legendary demon Primarch with flying. And has Primarch of the Death Guard. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay X. If you do, create X 2/2 black Astartes Warrior creature tokens with menace. X can't be greater than the amount of life you lost this turn. Interesting. Next up is Nurgle's Conscription. 1 black, 4 colors for an instant that reads, put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control, then exile that player's graveyard. So you steal their best card out of their graveyard, get rid of their graveyard, and you have their creature. And if you have a way to untap their creature, you can attack with it. That could be... There could be all sorts of shenanigans going on with that card. Next up is Nurgle's Rot. 1 black mana for an enchantment aura that reads, enchant creature an opponent controls. When an enchanted creature dies, return Nurgle's Rot to its owner's hand, and you create a 1/3 black demon creature token named Plague Bearer of Nurgle. I want to know who this Nurgle dude is. Because he's got all these 1/3 demon creatures running around. Next up is Plague Drone. 1 black, 3 colors for a 3/3 demon with flying. And it has Rot Fly. If an opponent would gain life, that player loses that much life instead. People are going to want to get rid of this thing. Next up is Poxwalkers. 1 black, 2 colors for a 3/1 zombie with Death Touch. With Curse of the Walking Pox, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, return Poxwalkers from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So yeah, there's a, and we've got stuff that you've got the flashback and stuff, so you can get a lot of stuff back from your graveyard. So easy to bring these guys back, and with the Death Touch, yeah, that's fun. Next up is Tallyman of Nurgle. 1 black, 2 colorless for a 2/3 Astartes Warrior with lifelink. And the 7-fold chant. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, you draw a card and lose a life. If 7 or more creatures died this turn, instead you draw 7 cards and lose 7 life. So card draw with a little bit of a cost to it. But he's a lifelink dude, so you can gain some of that life back. Next up is Venom Crawler. 1 black, 3 colors for an artifact, or 2/2 artifact creature demon with lifelink. It has Devourer of Souls. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Venom Crawler. Yeah. That could be fun. Next up is Blood Crusher of Khorne. 1 red, 3 colors for a 3/3 Demon Knight with Trample. Other creatures you control have it's a devastating charge. Other creatures you control have Trample. Trample, trample, trample. Next up is Bloodthirster. 1 red, 5 colors for a 6/6 demon with flying and trample. Whenever Bloodthirster deals combat damage to a player, untap it. After this combat phase, there's an additional combat phase. Bloodthirster can attack a player that it is already attacked this turn. So, kind of like a Morog effect on him. Some extra combat phases. Hoo-ha. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Chaos Terminator Lord. 1 red, 3 colorless. For a 3/3 Astartes Warrior. It has Lord of Chaos. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. Chaos, double strike, more chaos. Hoo-ha! Next up is Dark Apostle. 1 red, 3 colorless for an Astartes Warlock. 3/3 Astartes Warlock with Gift of Chaos. 3 colorless mana. Tap it. The next non-creature spell you cast this turn has Cascade. Cascade, more chaos. Next up is Herald of Slaanesh. 1 red, 2 colorless, 2/2 demon with Locus of Slaanesh. Demon spells you cast cost 2 colors less to cast. Other demons you control have haste. Demon fun. I know somebody who wants this demon. Hoo-ha! Shout out to you, Mr. DJ Longhair. Next up is Karn the Betrayer. 1 red, 3 colorless for a 5/1 legendary Astartes Berserker. That has Berserker. Karn the Betrayer attacks or blocks each combat if able. Sigil of Corruption. When you lose control of Karn the Betrayer, draw 2 cards. The Betrayer. If damage would be dealt to Karn the Betrayer, prevent that damage, and an opponent of your choice gains control of it. Some nice chaosly type of political shenanigans going on. Next up is Knight Rampager. I think I'm going to end here with that because my video time is getting up there. Knight Rampager is 1 black, 4 colorless for an artifact, 6/5 artifact creature knight with trample. And Frenzied Rampage. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose an opponent at random. Knight Rampager attacks that player this combat if able. When Knight Rampager dies, it deals 4 damage to target opponent chosen at random. So that card is super fun. I'm going to end it here. I'll see you on the next Warhammer 40k spoiler video.